Hey guys, it's Holly from Hunter Ryan, and if you saw some of my more recent videos, you'll know that today is Wednesday, and as part of my joining Lori Tata and I know Melissa from Vendy's Closet and some other people are going to be joining this as well. This is going to be, I think you just saw my dog in the background. I am joining them in a No Thrift February. So what we're supposed to be doing during No Thrift February is actually tackling those death piles, in my case, mountain ranges, getting organized, which is very important to me because I've been working on a Poshtopia. As you see, it still needs to be painted, but we got a lot more to do before we can even get to that situation. Breaking through to the other side of the shed, which is where all of the unprocessed items, like these, are my friend Renee, who stores some stuff here. She is designed by _Renee on Poshmark. Getting her and all of our unprocessed stuff over to the other side so we actually have room in here to work. And not having to sit right by the door, although I'm sitting by the door because it's nice and cool out today, and I get like ridiculously hot all the time, and it makes too much noise. It's noise enough with the dehumidifiers going, so I don't have to have a fan on me. I'm being by the open door, so you all hear some passing cars. So this first video, what I'm going to do is give you a rundown of all the tools and products that I'll be using over this probably at least 3 days of stuff I'm going to be working on. I'll be spending a couple hours a day. Well, I'll probably be spending a couple hours a day for this whole month, which will be strictly batch time working on cleaning and rehabbing purses and shoes, so that then I can also spend block time on photographing those so I can get me a nice big pile of stuff that is ready to start getting listed. I can start working on, after I get all the stuff that's not been processed over in the other side, I can actually get my bins set up properly and things put out the way they need to be, so I'm not bottlenecking myself at the needs to be put into inventory bin phase, which is kind of a big problem right now for me. So that is part of February's goals for me, is to organize, get stuff cleaned, get stuff ready to be successful. This is basically, it's officially under Lori No Thrift February. I'm also kind of calling it pre-spring clean, and getting ready. So now on with the show. So I'll start first on like cleaning products. And you're going to see, I mean, like most of this stuff is going to be stuff that everybody's kind of using. So you've probably seen them all like a million times already, but just so you know what I'm using. So we have Goo Gone and acetate, which is basically fingernail polish remover. This is going to help get your stickers and marks and stuff like that off of the soles of your shoes. Sometimes it can also help with the discoloration, but you need to be really careful with that. That's on the acetate. Definitely do not get this one, especially on this one, probably too. I would not get this one either, but definitely not this on your patent leather, because this will melt it and pretty much ruin it forever. So don't get those on your patent leather. Or I also have like a pair of patent canvas, so you can also have that patent, any of those rubbery coatings that you have on any kind of fabric or anything like that. You want to avoid any strong chemicals like the Goo Gone and acetate. Okay, so for those items, we can go into this one. For your items like your patent leather, and then the patent canvas that I have is somewhere else. That is what these guys are for. This is sapphire. You can actually get this on Amazon. This is Vernus Rife. This is the milky, because y'all, I know I tell you guys a lot of times in my videos when I get patent leather, this is the milky color of the Vernus Rife that I tell you guys to use for your neutrals and colors other than black. And then this is the black Vernus Rife. This is also good for like really dark blues and stuff too. So basically these are a cleaner for your patent leather. Yeah, it just says that on there. Making sure. So you're gonna shake it, you're gonna apply it, and then after I think it's 3 minutes. Yeah, you after it dries basically, then you'll buff it out. So it even has it very easy to follow directions. Wipe off the excess dirt, shake your stuff, apply it, wait, and buff. Can't get easier than that. Except for if you have something like these have a really good example. Oh shoot. This has actually got a tear on the back I just saw. So these might be mine. Hopefully they're my size. This one had, yeah, right there. So this one had some like scuffs that you can see that are probably like from another shoe or like a piece of furniture on it, but it hasn't scratched into the surface. So for those kinds of things, you want to use something that you can apply force, but you don't want to scratch. So Q-tips, your Vernus Rife and your Q-tips, you're going to be able to apply a stronger pressure, but it's not going to scratch your patent leather. So that is very important to remember. My street is supposed to be slow because I live on an island where we're like the federal protective area for key deer, and people just, they come over this little bridge we call Little Hump Bridge and just like try and fly. So that is what those are for. So in this case, I would use my black Vernus Rife on these patent leathers. And then you could also use it for places like this. You want to be really careful when you're doing, and that's another reason to use Q-tips, is when you're doing these areas where you've got this patent material, and I think this is actually like a patent rubber. It might be, yeah, it's man-made. So this is like, it looks like patent leather, but it's actually a patent rubber. So you would still want to use the Vernus Rife. Nothing like these guys, because these guys will melt it. And use your Q-tips so that way you can get that area along your velvet without getting it on your velvet. So Q-tips, very important. Alright, so we can move our vernices out of the way. Easy peasy one. First thing, get you some leather wipes. This is really good when you just have something that just needs to kind of be wiped off. Maybe it's been sitting in a closet too long. Maybe it feels a little dry. It's just basically a moisturizer conditioner in a wipe form. So that's like your easy go-to. And that's a good thing to use too, like before you start doing a deeper clean. So that way you're getting off like any little grains of sand or anything like that, that when you're actually using your full cleaners, you could be scratching with. So this, I've got a couple, these are sheepskin. So I have two cleaners, actually three, but this one's a little more advanced, kind of. So, boot shoe, who is this? Cadillac boot and shoe leather lotion. I actually got this off a recommendation from Jack and Brian. And then everybody loves the little leather honey. It's a cleaner, but it's also really good for a moisturizer. And this is the concentrate. And I do like to have the concentrate just because there's sometimes when you want to, and most of those times you're going to be, again, using something small area, and you're having to go in there hot. So this is a concentrate. It will make up to 32 ounces of cleaner. So save your big bottles and you can remake the leather honey, but I do try and keep some of it still in concentrated form for some of those things that you need a little extra ink for. For suede, I have two styles of UGG. So that's the protector and that's the freshener. Okay, I've got the yellow or tan version also of the cleaner. This is also UGG cleaner. This one comes in the white box. That one comes in the kind of tan box. Really, the only difference is the packaging. And like this one, this is the style of eraser that you get with the white box. And then there's that. And then this is the style of eraser and brush you get with the brown box. So I do like having this one, because you've got some nubbies for fluffing a little extra, and then you've got more of a spongy eraser. It's not quite as hard. So I do like having both of those. And then for both of these, we also have a protector, which is kind of like Scotch Guard that you would put on clothes. It's basically kind of like Scotch Guard, but for suede. And then it also has the shoe renew, and this is just to get the funky smell out of your I don't want to squirt it at me. Let me see if they smell different. No, they smell the same too. It almost smells like old school perm stuff. I don't know if you do that. This is good, but I actually use Odoban if it's really bad. And I've gotten some shoes that were smoker shoes, and I mean, they were bad. And for those, I take dryer sheets and I dip them in Odoban and put those dryer sheets in. It's done it with purses too. Purses and shoes that have like cigarette smoke. Put the Odoban dryer sheets in there. You seriously gotta let it sit in there for a while. It kind of absorbs the smell. And then I do a dryer sheet with lemongrass oil, which it's a nice fresh scent, and it doesn't actually last very long. It's more kind of, and it's an antibacterial and antimicrobial. So okay, so this is the way I learned how to clean boots, being in the military, and that is good old-fashioned saddle soap. I will use a damp cloth, and you rub the damp cloth onto your saddle soap. It kind of looks like, it doesn't smell, it kind of looks like shoe polish, but it's actually like a cleaner. So you're going to rub down and again, you want to make sure that you knock off any dirt and dust first, so you're not going to be scratching it when you use this. Use a wet cloth. I will also use my diapers. So that's like another tool that's very important. Get you some cloth diapers. I like to use cloth diapers when I'm cleaning with saddle soap as well, just because you can put some extra oomph in there. Make sure you brush off any loose debris first. And then you let these dry completely. When you clean something with saddle soap, you need to let it dry completely before you go into polish mode. Don't go into polish mode with your saddle soap not dried, because you want to let that dry completely, buff it off. It's going to strip wax that's been on your boots before. It's really good to do, especially when you're getting new shoes that need a good layer of polish at. And then the same for purses too. Purses need polish too. So if you use saddle soap, you're doing a deeper clean. You are removing like layers of old wax and as well as grime and stuff. So clean it, let it dry, buff it off, and then you'll start pulling out your other things. But before we go into polishes, when you clean off your leather, you may find that, or even before you clean it off, you may see that there's cracks or there's places where the color has rubbed off. This is especially true on those bottom corners of purses. So what you want to do is get you some acrylic leather paint. I have a box. It's out there. This is one of them. So this is my gold. I have like 14 other colors. And there's actually like a set of 12 colors available on Amazon. And then you can also get individual bottles like this of leather paint. You can mix this too, because it is paint. So you can mix, like if you get a nice kit of several colors, that will help you match colors to make sure that you're not like just throwing a red on, even though you should have like more of a burgundy. So look up paint charts and stuff like that if you do want to get into that more precise, where you are mixing your colors to like really do a rehab of items. So this is gold. I have a couple gold purses that need some touch up, so I got this. You will use acrylic, which these are synthetic brushes, and this is also from Angeles, who is who I get my leather paint from. It's the same brand. But you can get these sets, and it's got different sizes of brushes. So you got angled for when you're having to cut in, you know, like along the line. You got smaller ones, so that's a good set to get, so you can do the touch-up paints. After you paint your leather, and you want to like be light, you don't want to like put a blob of paint on there, because then you're going to have like a layer issue. You want to be very as light as you can, so that you are literally bringing that up to match the outside that you already have. And then there's also a from Angeles, there's also a like a setting kind of thing that you put over top of the paint after it dries, that will help make it look professional. Well, it is like the professional way. So anytime you do a leather coloring, it is good afterwards to use shoe cream. If it's not as serious, shoe cream is another great option for adjusting. Like if you just have a small blemish area that you need to bring a little more power than just basic colored shoe polish would bring, get a shoe cream. You're actually going to apply this very similar to your shoe polish, as far as like I use diapers. You know, you can also even use brushes, you know, like get some paint brushes that are just for applying shoe cream. Apply it lightly, let it dry fully, then buff it off. So this is going to be a good, it's conditioning your leather, but it is also coloring it without it being paint, I guess. And then this is a rejuvenator. So this is like a cream that's just going to kind of help bring some luster back to your leather. That's good to use like after you use some shoe cream. There's some other colors of shoe cream that I have. Then for metal areas, and then I also use this on metallic purses that just have small areas. I have gold and silver. This is actually called gilding wax, and you just put it on and it makes a, I don't have it all over me. And I mean, it doesn't take very much at all. I mean, you see, so you can see that it's a wax just like your shoe polish. So what you do, like if you have like I have a couple of metallic purses, you just would put it on kind of like that, let it dry fully, and then you're going to buff it out. You can also use it on scratches on your metallic hardware, but you need to be like really light with it, because otherwise it's gonna actually dry like a blob. So it's gonna look like you have like this blob of something on there. So I got silver hands. So gilded wax is also a good thing to get. Just make sure, watch some videos. I'll try and do some, but I'm not, super good at it yet. I do good with it when I just have like small areas that I have to fix. When you have something bigger, it's a little more in depth. Okay, so shoe polishing. So you have your black, you have your neutral, which is clear, which is basically just wax, and brown. You can get other colors. I'm probably going to get some white and red also, because I get a lot of that. Then you have the premium paste, which is kind of like in between wax and a cream. It's a little more wax in it. This is also a premium paste. So this is going to give you a little bit of a higher gloss as well. When you're cleaning leather, a really important part is to kind of make sure, and that's why I like to use saddle soap, is you want to like actually remove that old wax that's on there. It's just like slough it, like when you want to slough your dead skin off. It's the same kind of situation. So you want to make sure that you're using cleaning products, getting your stuff stripped down to the leather, getting it ready to build back up. The old school way of spit shining, people would actually catch their wax on fire and then blow it out real quick, or use the lid to put it down. And a lot of that was to try and bring the wax like more to the top, make it a little more liquid, but you're actually burning your wax, so you're not getting as much wax on your cloth to actually work in. So instead of doing that, you want to use just a couple drops of isopropyl alcohol. And you can also use this like just a little bit in water, like if you're just doing like a quick wipe off of some grime that got on your shoes. Isopropyl alcohol will help clean, as well as it chemically burns the wax into your leather. So when you do a spit shine, which I'm going to do in a video for you, I will take my lid And where's my water? I've got some like regular water. This does have like a splash thing, but it's not. It's regular water. It's reusing. So I'm going to use my lid. I'm going to fill with water. And then I'm just going to put a couple drops of isopropyl alcohol into my water. And then I will use my diaper, 2 fingers. We'll wrap it around nice and tight. And then I'll use the water, and then I'll actually kind of rub it off so it's just kind of moist. And then I'll pick up my polish. I'll put it on, let it dry, and then you put on another layer. So as you're applying polish, you're actually going to be making your leather look more dull as the polish dries. And then after you get like a couple good layers of polish on, then you're going to go more water, less polish. And you're going to go super, super gentle. Like, you don't want to be pushing hard, because all you're doing is pushing it off. You're not actually working it in. So you're just like really gently using that wet, a little bit of polish and the wetness, and you're just kind of buffing it out gently, but the little bit of alcohol is kind of burning that wax chemically into your leather in a positive way. So that's something we'll be doing when we get to spit shining. Amadex ink and stain. I have not used this before. I got this based on other recommendations. Normally cleaning the insides of my purses and like cloth shoes and stuff like that, I'll be using the Reseller Magic, and this is Blue Dawn, baking soda, and hydrogen peroxide, and I also add borax to mine, and then water. And so you have like a nice treating, it's a pre-treater, it's a cleaner. The hydrogen peroxide is going to work on your like protein stains, like fats, blood, stuff like that, because hydrogen peroxide kind of breaks down those proteins. And then Blue Dawn is also really good for removing fats, oils, grease, and stains. And borax is a whitener, and baking soda, it's kind of like a whitener, but then it also kind of amplifies the other items' superpowers. And then I also will use OxyClean, like especially when I'm doing my hauls of the 200 pounders, or as I get more into doing the bales, as I'm going through and kind of sorting stuff, things that need to be washed, I will go ahead and just throw on a little OxyClean, Max Force, Laundry Force onto them. And then later on when I get ready to wash them, if it's not coming out with that, then we'll bring in the Magic. And for cleaning and polishing metal, you would like to use some Brasso. This also actually will remove sticker schmeg. So we used to use this on boats to get the stickers off of the windows of the boat. So Brasso for your metal cleaning. And then we have the brushes, the different types of brushes. So these, most of you guys know, are suede brushes. You have the bristle side, the rubber bristle parts for kind of fluffing it, and then you have the eraser sides. This one's like a little harder. You also have these erasers. You have these like eraser slash fluffer thing. So I have a couple of those. Then I've got some shoe. So this one's a little stiffer than this one. This one's like a horsehair, and this one's more bristly. Then you have your suede brush, which also has metal. Yeah, you've got like 2 rows of metal in there to fluff your suede. And then your bigger brushes, which is just for knocking off your dirt and stuff like that. And I will also use one of these or one of these when I am scrubbing a spot, because they are kind of a soft scrubby. So for working on fabric. So like I'm going to be working on some jacquard coach bags, so I'll be using a brush with my blue cleaner. And I can't believe it took 30 minutes to go over just the tools that I'll be using, but it did. So I guess this is going to be a video all unto its own. These are the tools I use. Make sure I actually have 2 types of diapers. This is a lot thinner one, so it's a little bit easier for wrapping around your fingers. The problem comes with it when you're buffing is that it's kind of more of a texture, so it'll actually kind of scratch it. So I would use this lighter one for well, you can see I've used it for doing my saddle soap, but also applying your polish. This thinner one's going to be good, but you really want to use the thicker, more padded ones, or like triple layering your t-shirts, because you can also use t-shirts. But I like these Lovable Friends. It's a thicker, softer weave, which is better for that last, after your polish has dried and you're actually kind of bringing it up to the shine. I would use the thicker ones. So like I said, I think this is Lovable Friends, and then this is just a basic. I think these are actually Gerber. I'm not sure. But these are a lot thinner. These are a lot thicker. If I was putting my baby in one, I would definitely use the Lovable Friends, because it's a lot more substance to it. So that is it on. Oh, that's not it on my tools. Forgot. So these are actually really important too, because when you are, oh great, and then hopefully I got scissors in here somewhere. So these are actually shaft inserts, like you have the shoe insert. These are shaft inserts for boots. You want to make sure that you have some good, sturdy inserts, because when you're polishing, you are going to be applying pressure, and you want to be able to have something pushing back on you. For boots, you can also use like the floaties, the pool noodles, cut them to fit your shoes or your boots. But I like these shaft fillers as well. And then make sure that you have some good, these are pretty good actually for plastic. I do, when I'm at the bins, and even when I'm on Shop Goodwill, I will look for the wooden shoe inserts, because those are going to give you some of the best pushback on. So you're getting the big part about, especially the front of the shoe for having the insert, is because when you wear shoes, they start to bend and kind of crease across the top. By pushing it as flat as you can get it, when you're working in that polish, that area that's bent over, that leather is going to be damaged. That's where you're going to have your leather actually breaking apart, because if you're not getting that flat enough to get that polish in there, that wax in there to condition that leather, then it's going to break apart. If you see that you're having white sections of the leather on your shoes, that's usually caused from salt. It can be from the street when you live somewhere snowy and they're putting down salt on the sidewalks and streets. you know, that's a really, salt is a huge damage to leather. But you also need to think about if you're sweating, you'll usually see it like right along the inside arch is where you're going to see it the most on your leather. So make sure that you're getting in those areas really good with your cleaners, conditioners, and polish, so you're getting that salt out of the leather and keeping it fresh and ready to go. So now I'm officially done at 35 minutes, and I still need to actually get to work. So talk to you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed this.